Today we're finally going to be talking about the manga Akira Failing in Love. Yeah, I know. Go ahead and celebrate all you want. You may show your gratitude by sending me $20 million. If you've been following my Instagram, link in the description below, you would know that this has been coming for a while now. And if you ask me, this is probably the most excited I've been in making a video. However, had someone recommended me to talk about this manga a few months ago, I would probably, most definitely, hit you with the...
What? No, I don't want to do that.
Just hear me out, okay? This manga has the same problem I have with The Greatest Estate Developer, and if you have never heard of it, it is easily in my top 3 favorite manhwas of all time, period. But to this day, I refuse to ever make a video on it because... I don't know what to say. Because I did plan on making a video on it. I even started writing the script at one point, but after the 3rd day, I came to the realization, wow, this video is boring. Halfway through the revision, I realized that I just said what everyone else has been saying. Yeah, it's fucking good. There's nothing else left to add. Congrats, you're just like the other thousands who's made a video on it. Anything else? And for a long time, I also thought I would never talk about Akira because all I can say are good things and there are barely, if any, flaws that I can critique or give feedback on. And if I do, I don't know if there will be anyone who would agree with me. They're probably gonna start calling me names like Poopy Pants or more suitably Poopy Opinions and just make fun of me like when people gave me death threats for making fun of their favorite anime, and I would usually just go, well, why don't you just watch the other fucking videos that just glaze your favorites to death? I'm sorry, I'm honest. I care about staying true to myself and not conforming to social ideals that were forced upon me by the popular masses. Yeah, said it. I'm 1 in a trillion. I don't care if my opinions hurt your feelings. I'll keep saying that Fragrant Flowers is overrated as fuck. You can keep sending me hate comments and bitch, but that won't stop me. I'm Kiwi and there's nobody else like Kiwi. If I make a video on a manga or an anime or a manhwa or a pornhwa or a hentai I want to talk about, you best believe it won't be like the others. Wait, nobody else has talked about it? Well shit, why didn't you just say? First off, we meet the heroine, aka the person who has her name on the title, Akira, as in Momose Akira. On the other hand, we see a person looking at her full of glee and admiration. That person being the male love interest, the protagonist, the lens to our viewpoint of this world, Hajime Kugayama. Wait, what? Hold on, are you being serious right now? What are you talking about? Do you mind? I'm trying to narrate here. No, this is historic. You're telling me that you're gonna call him by his actual name? Yeah? Not like the other tens of videos where you just continue that unfunny joke where you call every main character Albert? Well, I don't know anything about being unfunny, but...
Not this time.
So if you're new to the channel, welcome. Cookies and creams are available for everyone, but I tend to call every main character Albert. There are multiple lores in why I do this, which I won't cover all of them in this video, but in relation to this topic, I tend to call a lot of main characters Albert due to them being very obviously blank main characters. Characters that don't really got much going on for them apart from just being self-inserts for the readers to put themselves in. Now, of course, this doesn't apply to every character I talk about, considering some of them stop being boring and actually getting character development. But in this case, Hajime from the very beginning is straight up on crack. But in order to get into that, we need to talk about his love life. Hajime Kugayama has a crush on the school beauty Momose Akira, who also used to be his childhood friend. No, wait, they were classmates. Oh, sorry, they've actually never spoken to each other before. And also, he's on top of his desk for some reason. Jesus Christ, how much coffee did this gremlin consume? Okay, so turns out he wasn't lying at all because we then get a visualization of him trying to talk to her. But he says they've never spoken because, well, she never responds. But now that they meet again in high school, he wants to make more use of his feelings and try even harder. But before that plan even started, he gets outfed by the girl he's trying to pursue, and she opens her mouth and said thus, "Hey, what is your favorite food?" Personally, I would say your mama's ass, but what the fuck do I know? So he goes and responds, I like banya kauda, maybe? Oh no, did I give the wrong answer? Oi, are you being for real? No, I actually like McChicken nuggies with a side of ranch. Also, if they don't have that, then I go with their sweet and sour sauce because it is superior to the ketchup. Sokka. You haven't changed since back then. By the way, half of those dialogues were made up, but sweet and sour is the superior McDonald's sauce, and I'm willing to die on that hill. So after getting the answer to that question, Akira then gets up from her kabedon and begins to walk away, leaving Kugayama very confused. Then we switch the POV to Akira as she walks back to her friends asking her how it went, to which her stone-cold face demeanor then melts into a face of flush and massive relief. Turns out, while our boy was planning on getting closer to her, she was already a step ahead and even wrote down an agenda on how to do so herself. And so her friend celebrates her success as she managed to follow through with her plan on asking our boy on what his favorite food is. Unfortunately though, that entire interaction scared the absolute shit out of him, so he starts thinking that our girl hates his ass. So the manga lays out the objectives. We have a boy who has a crush on his childhood friend, while that childhood friend already likes him back but is super duper clumsy and doesn't know how to convey her infatuation, leading to many shenanigans and situations where she tries her best to do so, but ultimately fails because of her own hubris. But at certain points, surely Hajime will notice something, right? Even if the hints are completely vague or how her actions would suggest everything otherwise, there should be a chance of actual progression, where these two lovebirds actually develop an actual relationship with each other, right? Well, find out by reading. Momose Akira's first love is a failure. I do not like this title, like, at all. I don't know why this website shows this, but it's too generic, and the fact that the title says first love as if to suggest that she can have another love after this is making me a little upset. Now, if this is your first exposure to the series, you would probably be a bit confused as to why I apparently like this manga so much. Because in terms of premises, it isn't really that unique. Dumb and dense main character who likes the heroine, and the heroine is also in love with him while being quote-unquote perfect in every way. But the twist is, she isn't perfect, because she is socially awkward and doesn't know how to get closer to her crush, and the only way she knows how to do so is by creating strategies and scripts in order to befriend him, only for it to fail due to her being extremely clumsy and him being super dense. But what's hilarious is, despite our boy being stupid, more on this later, she doesn't help because you can even make the case that arguably, she's even dumber. If I, as a man, get the rear naked choke treatment by my crush, I would probably be depressed for a week and move to Dagestan. Or if the girl that I like for no apparent reason twists and injures my neck, I would consider going into therapy. But although we as the readers have the privilege to see her point of view and how she's really just goofy and is super shy around him, the main character doesn't have that perspective. Yet funnily enough, the man somehow just doesn't give up. I mean, come on, you have to give him props for that. Bro is literally dying at every turn with this girl, but he's still running towards that danger. You gotta commend his bravery. Or avoid his stupidity. Because this boy is truly one of a kind. You know how in the recap he gave us a narration of how he's been constantly talking to Akira ever since they were kids, and he mentioned how they were classmates? Well, we get a flashback chapter where we get to see Akira being alone in her class due to her social awkwardness, and the only solace she could find was whenever she went home and had this little boy constantly strike conversations with her. It's sweet, and probably one of my favorite panels in the entire manga. But you gotta ask, wait, if Hajime has always tried to befriend her, why doesn't he do that in school as well? Oh, is it like that situation where a grade splits into multiple rooms and units so they couldn't really see each other? No, apparently they were never even classmates. They went to different schools. Listen, on one hand, I can make a comment about how that's even more romantic, but at the same time, that is one of the most hilarious twists I have ever seen in a rom-com. Bro really had me believing that they were the best of buddies, when this girl literally had no idea who this boy was. But I gotta say, I think it is more melancholic that their relationship started off of a pure whim, and literally started from pure coincidence. Or did it? Regardless, I've already brought up how this manga adds little twists to what is otherwise an overdone cliche. The setup to the story isn't gonna blow your mind, but it is the way this author executes it that makes all the difference. And this type of scenario happens multiple times. For example, a lot of rom-coms follow the formula of having episodic chapters and occasionally getting serious whenever they feel like it. This manga, however, while episodic and humorous in nature for the most part, is different as despite the funny stuff, it still builds up into the progress of how they get closer. One of the chapters shows Akira going sicko mode and putting a GSP type of performance by doing everything perfectly. Her friends ask why she's tryharding so hard, to which she responds that she's putting a lot of effort in her cocoa cookies because she wants to give it to the boy that she likes. And her friends, upon hearing that, was like, wow! Wow, that is so cute! If you put all your love into it, you will surely make those cookies delicious. Only for Kugiyama to say that they taste terrible. Turns out Akira accidentally mixed up the sugar with mustard powder, which then also leads Kugiyama to choke. So she tries to help him out, yet starts putting him in a chokehold, which makes it even worse. So he cries out and begs for water harder than Ronaldo begs for penalties, and in a state of panic, she drowns him. Oh, Akira. You're such a silly goose. If you don't find this funny, you might want to add a little joy in your life. But either way, anyone can tell that this chapter is focused more on the comedy side of the manga. Yet far ahead in the future, we get to one where they focus on the romance, and the fact that she uses mustard powder and the chocolates become a crucial part into the diabetic sweetness that ensues in that chapter. This shit is not something you see every day. The author, instead of making a run-of-the-mill haha hee moment, actually planned that shit to use for future development. That was unexpected if you ask me. Which segues to my next point. A lot of rom-com mangas that follow these formulas, and even those that don't, usually have this one chapter where one of the characters come to a realization that they actually have a crush on their love interest. But I always find this shit dumb because, motherfucker, we all saw you blush multiple times before this. Like, who are you trying to fool? We see you right there.
This is 4K! How did they get you in 4K? That ain't me.
But this manga is different because their moment of realization is more than just a simple, oh, I realize I like her kind of scene. No, we knew that he's been crushing on her, so instead, he comes to the realization that has gone even beyond that. This boy realizes that he doesn't just like her. He finds out that he loves everything about her. And if that ain't cute enough to mend your cracked out heart, then I don't know what will. There are even more points I can pick up from this manga. They look like they were about to add that overused plot device I hate of adding a new love interest for the sake of drama. We'll get into that in a future video. But turns out that was just a scare and it went nowhere, but still played a part in entertaining us. Akira herself is honestly the type of character I would and have absolutely made fun of. The shy girl, cutesy acts, quote unquote, must be protected at all costs. The stutter, I mean, I literally have an entire segment dedicated to showing my distaste towards these kinds of characters. Wagari is annoying and I don't care how many of you fuckers attack me for it. Fight me! But Akira is different because she's more goofy. Her awkwardness brings in a more chaotic feel towards the comedy and entertains you by watching her fumble multiple times from the simplest of things. Which is why it's even more impressive that despite its contribution to the humor, it also enhances the romance in an equal manner. The wholesome moments get you even more hyped because it is a rare event to see any one of these lovebirds actually progressing. So when Akira actually does get through her stutters and manages to actually convey what she means, it is that much more satisfying. But I don't want to point out everything I love about this manga because we can stay here all day. So I'm gonna end it off with just one last point, and that is Hajime Kugiyama himself. I think Hajime Kugiyama is the type of person we should all strive to be, and I don't necessarily mean to still be crushing on someone that twisted your neck. That's your and his business. But I've noticed that social media has been poisoning our society for a while now. I know I sound like an unk, or worse, a boomer, but that's why you know it's bad when even I have pointed it out. Because from what I've seen, people always bring up their loneliness or how they will never find a good love life for as long as they live, and it doesn't help that we've all been fed the same toxic bullshit that made this epidemic happen in the first place. You go on Instagram, you see girlies talk about what turns them off, or little things men do that give them the ick. You also see those men giving sexualization on women. On top of that, the red pill alpha bullshit that podcasters feed you by preaching false things in order to prey on your vulnerability. They tell you to be more nonchalant. They tell you to not pursue a relationship if you don't make at least 6 figures. The men tell you to be like this. The women tell you don't be like that. Then where is the space for you to be you? We're so hyper-focused on our anxieties of finding a partner that we forget the most basic rule to get one. And that is to just be yourself. And that's what Kugiyama represents. He doesn't care about any of that stuff. He knows he likes this girl, and so he does his best to get her. It's her birthday, but he needs to attend a wedding until it's late at night. Fuck it, he's putting his sweat and tears to make it to her at midnight, not giving a shit if she sees how hard he tries. He's physically a beast and is naturally talented at sports, but decides not to pursue it due to his fear of being in pain, Yet, he immediately runs into the face of danger whenever Akira is in trouble. He sees her being cold, so he puts a blanket on her. Yeah, it's simple, but we're so used to overthinking shit that these types of actions are considered rare nowadays. Or when these two finally went on a date, he's concerned on how to give her the best time yet doesn't have any money in his pocket, so he comes up with another idea. Sticks! And it ends up being the sweetest and most fun moment in that entire chapter. Now, am I saying to bring out your date to go sword fighting? Of course not. That isn't my point. Kageyama knows how ridiculous this idea is, but that doesn't stop him from bringing it up because that is just who he is. He is a person that's always stayed true, and most importantly, is being himself. If I, like him, were to bring up 2 sticks in my date and she leaves me, then that just means that she wasn't the right sparring partner, and that's okay. My Momose Akira is out there somewhere. In the meantime, I should just be the best Kageyama I can possibly be. You guys will all be fine. Stay true to yourselves and the right person will come. But while you wait for that, oh, what the heck. I can be your someone for now. For the small price of $1 million. So dudes, hope you guys enjoyed that video. Was that? I didn't give this manga a rating? Bro, have you been paying any attention? I literally spent 90% of this video glazing it. That isn't enough to show you how I feel about it? Fine, I'm gonna say something bold, and honestly, I don't know if this will hold up. But my favorite rom-com of all time has always been Kaguya-sama. But ever since I finished reading that manga, I couldn't really find anything to scratch that itch that series has been doing for me. But so far, Akira failing in love is the closest to ever replicating it to me. Now that doesn't absolutely mean that the others I've glazed aren't goated material to me. I think She's Likely Aiming for My Older Brother is another one that I super duper love to death. But in terms of the manga that makes me bust my guts laughing from the comedy while also get my kokoro go doki doki from all the romance, this manga is the closest I've had to do it as much as Kaguya-sama used to do for me. So yeah, this one's a 10 out of 10, no question. You happy now? Can I finish my announcement? Okay. As some of you may have caught on, it has been a challenge tradition for me to cover at least one anime after a season ends. Last time I did Chain Soldier, before that was Fragrant Flowers, that one Yuri anime everybody forgot about, but unfortunately due to many circumstances, I will not be covering any reviews for the animes that came out in spring. However, I have seen a lot of you guys wanting me to talk about animes like The Second Prettiest Girls in Class, Otagyaru. I think I also saw someone asking for my opinions on Marriage Toxin. Well, that's where the second channel comes in. In Kiwa, I've uploaded a video where I covered every anime that I watched during that season, including all of those that I just previously mentioned. In fact, I want to keep it consistent and do these types of videos every time a season ends. Like if this season I talk about, I don't know, like you and I are polar opposites. Don't be too disappointed if I don't make a video on the Chainsmoking Cat anime or the other Chainsmoking Cat anime, because I'll probably also talk about it in the Kiwa LOL channel. So yeah, if you weren't interested in that channel because I did more gaming before, now there's more reason because I'll also do some more anime shit. Okay? Cool. Anyways, that's all I gotta say to plug. Insta, Twitter, Patreon in the description, you know the drill. And yeah, I guess that's it. Bye-bye!